Hi, my name's Andrew Schiff. I've been an accountant for over 30 years, and I've taught literally hundreds of people how to use QuickBooks accounting software. What I'd like to do for the next few minutes is share some insights and some tips with you to help you use QuickBooks accounting software as efficiently and as effectively as possible. What I'd like to talk about in this little video is the concept of items. In QuickBooks, you can't just record a sale. For example, in QuickBooks, you can't just tell the software, I'd like to increase my cash or my accounts receivable, and I'd like to increase an income account. In QuickBooks, it's a little bit more complicated. In QuickBooks, you have to create something called an item and link that item to the income account, which will be increased as the result of the sale. For example, in the previous video, I used the example of a little gas station owner, and I said that gas station owner might want to keep track of his income for regular gasoline, mid-grade gasoline, premium gasoline, parts, and service sales. So you can use QuickBooks quite well by creating as little as 5 items. In my example, it would be an item which is linked to each one of those 5 income accounts. Now, the types of items that you're going to be creating and using most often, particularly if you're new to QuickBooks and just getting started in it, are going to be these 3. Service items, which of course is to record the sale of services. Non-inventory parts, which is to record the sale of products for which QuickBooks does not maintain a running total of how much you have on hand. And thirdly, inventory parts, to record the sale of products where QuickBooks does maintain a running total of how much you have on hand. Now, for all 3 of these items, service items, non-inventory parts, and inventory parts, QuickBooks is going to want to know what is the name of the income account, which is going to be increased each time you record a sale. But for inventory parts, QuickBooks is going to want to know 2 more things. It's going to want to know the name of the inventory account, which gets increased each time we buy some of the products so that QuickBooks can maintain a running total. And it's also going to want to know the name of the cost of goods sold account, which is going to be increased every time you sell some of the product so QuickBooks can reduce the running total. The final point that I'd like to make in this little video is that a frequent mistake that business owners make is they create far too many items. For example, imagine a little shoe retailer, shoe repair shop, that created 100 items for everything that the owner sold. For example, brown shoelaces, 24 inches, brown shoelaces, 36 inches, brown shoelaces, 48 inches, black shoelaces, 24 inches, black shoelaces, 36 inches, black shoelaces, 48 inches, and on and on and on. And before you know it, the business owner has created dozens or hundreds of items, and it's more detail than he or she needs, and it's too complicated to use. So what I would recommend is that you start by creating your income accounts, as we discussed in the previous video, and then just creating 1 item to match to each of those income accounts. That's the simplest and easiest way to do it. And then if you discover that there is a good business reason for maintaining a running total of how much you have on hand, for example, the gas station owner has a particular type of item, maybe it's a muffler or a starter motor for which he wants to keep a running total of how much he has on hand, then when you have a good business reason to maintain a running total of how much you have on hand of a product, set that product up as an inventory part so that QuickBooks can keep track of the running total and increase it when you buy it and decrease it when you sell it. But it should be guided by what's good for your business as opposed to the feeling that you have to do it for everything. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about, in fact, a lot more about how to use QuickBooks and to follow a step-by-step tutorial that shows you how to set up QuickBooks and use it efficiently and effectively for a typical small business, I hope you'll take a look at a DVD training set that I've created called QuickBooks Companion. The website for it is shown at the bottom of your screen, and thanks for listening.